This season not only reminds us to be thankful for our lives of plenty, but also to remember and to reach out to those who are less fortunate. And though we fall into a wide spectrum of political and social beliefs, I think child hunger is one issue we can all take a stand against. Unfortunately, some media outlets tend to, stretch the truth to promote their own political agendas. But when the issue is exaggerated and we don't really know what we're dealing with, how can we effectively address it? Just Facts would like to draw your attention to a specific example. An article was written by Think Progress, which just happens to be rated in the nation's top 15 political websites, on the issue of child hunger. Let's read the title together, shall we? More than a fifth of America's children are going hungry. Wait, more than a fifth? How is that possible? It isn't. The fact is that this article exaggerates child hunger not by 8%, not by 80%, not even by 800%, but 8,000%. 8,000%! Yeah, 8,000%. And this article isn't written by some hack reporter. It is written by Mr. Alan Pike, the Deputy Economic Policy Editor of Think Progress. So, what are the facts? Well, if we look at the USDA survey that Pike cites, it's clear that 21.6% of all households with children were food insecure at some point in 2012. So there's more than a fifth. But let's take a closer look. The crux of this misinformation is that Pike equates food insecurity with hunger. Though this more than a fifth does include some legitimate hunger, prior to 2006, the USDA actually broke this category down into two: food insecurity with hunger and food insecurity without hunger. In fact, directly after this 21.6, the same survey states that only 1.5% of households with children had at least one child who actually experienced hunger in the past year. So 1.5. This brings me to another problem. Households with children do not equal children. Pike would have read just a little bit further. He would have seen that children aren't always affected by their household's food insecurity. And finally, this more than a fifth aren't even facing food insecurity every day, but have experienced it at least once in the past year. In the month before the survey was taken, just over 1% of households with children had a child that experienced hunger within that past month. Wait a second. This means on the average day, i.e. are facing, only 0.25% of households with children have a child that experiences hunger. Now, I'm not trying to minimize this. No child should go hungry. But 0.25% is a lot different than more than a fifth. But Think Progress did update this article, right? The day after Just Facts alerted Think Progress to their error, they added a nice little red box at the bottom and updated their title from Are Going Hungry to Are Facing Hunger. Are going, facing, sorry, not good enough. So all other errors aside, let's update this title. We can change more than a fifth to less than 1%, or more than a fifth of America's children live in households that were food insecure at some point in 2012. That's a little different. Too wordy maybe? And don't forget to check out the full article on our website. Be informed.